What is up, everybody? This is Keith, Go Back Gator Guy 31 across the DFS industry, and we are back for the first two-game slate of the Euros. Hope you all did okay today. Like I posted for those that follow me on Twitter, I survived the Lewandowski fade. It's the first time, feels like all tournament, that I've faded a goal scorer and it's worked. Issue is, faded to do some version of Morata or Moreno. Did not work out. The play was obviously Patrick Schick. What a goal if you haven't seen it already. Bombed it for what, like 50 yards, 60 yards. And even better for my prize pick people, came off of Souček's shin, who was credited with the assist, and salvaged that over because he'd not get there on passes like I expected him to. But there's no pictures on scorecards to take the golf term. So enjoyed that win. Stunk if you paired with McGregor. It didn't work out. McGregor actually did really well in the few minutes he was in. But I did mention, look for the Spain overs. And shoot, if you did any of the center backs or midfielders from Spain, you destroyed the over with Spain's possession. So hope you did well. At the time of recording, 8:08, prize picks, props or not, I've been told they'll be out later tonight. Unfortunately, I do not have later tonight available to shoot. So make sure to tune in to my Twitter feed. I'll also try to drop the prop from the FSI YouTube account in the details when it does come out. So at least by tomorrow morning, I will have it there for you all. Just a quick reminder, prize picks is awesome. I've now, really gotten into it since Euro started and truly enjoying the heck out of it. Another layer of DFS goodness. So promo code FSI, you get a up to 100% match up to $100. All right. Let's jump in the DFS slate. And just one more quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment. It all really, really does help. I do appreciate all the support these videos have gotten. I've certainly been doing my best, and thank you guys for showing that support. All right, let's get into the games. Again, I mentioned we have two games, and let's start with the first game at noon, which is Hungary versus Portugal. The big news, actually, I'll go two big news. So first off, I just think it's worth noting, even though it has not mattered in the Euros yet, but Hungary is at home. So I think they're going to be packed to capacity. So, it should be kind of a crazy place, but we saw Russia at home get destroyed by Belgium. We saw Spain at home not beat Sweden despite 85% possession. And then we also saw Scotland at home complete letdown versus Czech today. So maybe we shouldn't overvalue the home field advantage. But the bigger news for Hungary is their all-world Galactico, Dominic Szoboszlai, I think is how you say it. I call him Sozonaldo because he's just that good. He is out for the tournament. So it leaves Hungary without their star player, their star set taker. He just does everything for them, and he's really that good. So sets should, depending on the lineup, if this is the lineup, and again, that's kind of how I've been doing these videos. If this is the lineup, what we're looking at is that Kleinheisler will likely be on the set pieces. You could also see Lovren 6 take. I think I said his name right. And let me just real quick get you the other set takers. My phone just refreshed, so just give me 2 seconds. If it'll work. They both have the same last name. It's Vargas, I believe. All right. Once my phone boots back up, I will get it for you. So I'll come back to that in a second. But really, these two are probably, if this is the lineup, your only cash guys. They're both super cheap. I think that there's a really good chance that you do use one of them. But Portugal is going to dominate this game. The other thing I do want to mention is Peter Gulaxi. He is the Red Bull Leipzig goalkeeper. He is a very, very, very good keeper. So the last time I said this was, God, who did Denmark play? I'm just losing it today, guys. My apologies. But whoever Denmark played, I'm completely blanking on the goalie. But obviously, it was shadowed by or marred by the Eriksson tragedy. But he had a great game even before the Eriksson thing happened. So I think it was Gillespie. It wasn't Gillespie. Anyhow, I can't remember. All right. For those that are just watching this video, like, who in the hell is this guy? Like, why is he doing a Euro video? Why are people watching it? Promise, it'll get better. Just slow start. All right, let's go to Portugal. That's going to be where so much of the ownership is going to be. I think the first player in everybody's lineup is going to be Cristiano Ronaldo. He is going to have free reign to shoot as much as he can humanly contain and as much as he wants. I missed the odds. Minus 227, which honestly I thought would be a little bit higher. Maybe is the home field advantage. And we are actually looking at, for our first total, hovering around 3. So Cristiano Ronaldo is everybody's first click, and as soon as they click for Cristiano Ronaldo, almost everybody's gonna click Bruno Fernandes. I think that both are just lock and loads. Bruno Fernandes will likely split sets with Bernardo Silva. You could see Rafael Guerrero take some sets as well. Bernardo Silva, obviously a phenomenal player. Just the biggest problem with Bernardo, he's a little bit better for Portugal than he is for City in terms of DFS, but he's just not going to ever be a huge high volume shooter. He's never going to take like 6-7 shots. He's never going to cross the ball 15 times. It's just not Bernardo's game. He's a lot more deliberate, maybe a lot of time under Pep, but he's just great on the ball, great passer. I think he's fine. I think he's a good differentiating piece, especially if you want to stack up Portugal, because I think a lot of people, what they're going to do is going to take Ronaldo, take Bruno Fernandes, and then if they decide not to spend up for anybody in the France-Germany game, they're going to go to Jota or some in the backline. I think Bernardo maybe comes in a little bit under-owned, so I think he is a good play. Rafael Guerrero, as mentioned, he can take some sets. The Dortmund winger, he gets forward a lot more. We've seen some big cross games from him in a Portuguese shirt. João Cancelo would normally be on the right side, but I believe he is out for COVID for the tournament or something else. But he's out. It's going to be Semedo. They did call up Diego Dalot as well, but it should be Semedo. He does a little bit more for Portugal than he has done in the past for Barcelona and for Wolves. So both are fine, but I choose Guerrero. Ruben Diaz, Player of the Year in the Premier League, should garner a little bit of ownership. But pretty much anybody in Portuguese shirt is in play. Pereira and Carvalho, they're going to have more defensive duties than offensive, but they're cheap. All it takes is for them to be in the right place at the right time for, kick and goal or an assist, and you're off and running. Let me see if my phone works. It's just decides like, I don't want to do this. So I'll try to post those too if I can get. Actually, just while we're doing it, let me just see if I can just get it real quick. Holy crap. This internet is just not working. All right, it's not going to work. But there's two guys. I'm assuming they're brothers. Oh, here, maybe. Oh, okay. I got names at least. Where are they? Vargas. Both of the Vargas have taken. I think I said Vargas. So I wasn't that far off. But the Vargas both have taken corners. So look out for them. And there's one other guy here. Let me see. It's not Salawai. That's one of their best players, is Salawai. Willie Orban in the back is a good player too, but these aren't. And Sazalai, I know these Hungary names are great. Yeah, the other set taker I don't think is with the team, so it's going to be the Vargas, or it will be. Oh, where is Klein Hessler will be the set piece takers, and they're all pretty cheap. So keep those guys in mind. All right, let's go to France, Germany. Game of the day, probably the game of the first round in terms of just star-studdedness. Let's start on the France side, the defending champs. It's going to be really interesting to see them now in a first truly competitive game with Karim Benzema. Germany's backline has been very suspect as well. So I think if you want an elite GPP play, and let's just double check where this game is being played. It's in Spain, so we don't have like any home field advantage. But I think an elite GPP spot is stacking some French attackers and maybe going for multiple goals. So stacking like Benzema and Griezmann, or Benzema and Mbappe, or a combination of three. Everybody's gonna go to Ronaldo and Bruno. So France, wrecks Germany, which is it's possible. Sorry to my guy Hofbrau, but it's possible. Germany is looking a little bit better, but they've still shown up with suspect performances. I always think of that Spain game where they just got dominated. So should be a little bit better with Muller and Hummels on the squad, but I still do kind of worry about Germany. All right, so Antoine Griezmann is a lock play for me. Takes all the set pieces for France. Has so much in a better role, playing as a 10 and getting to do what everyone's getting just complete freedom than he is at Barcelona, where Messi plays that role. Antoine Griezmann is just an elite spot, an elite player for France. And I think he's a lock and load in your lineups as your second forward to go with Ronaldo. Benzema and Mbappe, I think, are more GPP, as I just described. Conte, Pogba, Rabiot, none of them really have too much of a floor. Pogba, if anybody, but I just don't know if your construction will get you there. Lucas Hernandez and Benjamin Pavard both are better center backs and fullbacks, but they're okay. Whatever. I mean, look, France is a defensive team. They mostly like to play on the counter, which will be interesting here, where I think that possession could be pretty split. So I really think from a cash and optimal perspective, which is weird. I like to go with these videos. I'll mention GPP pivots, but I like to stay in the optimal lens. I think it's Griezmann. On the German side, Joshua Kimmich and Toni Kroos will likely split sets. It's been the longest time that's happened. Cruz has always been like a monopoly set piece taker for Germany. But if we go off the last friendly, which I always try to go off the last data, Kimmich and Cruz split. So I think, in my opinion, especially playing wide and being defensive eligible, Joshua Kimmich is the superior play. I think it's 5,800. 5,800, and he's wide. So we get open play value on top of some set pieces. That's what I like to see. Joshua Kimmich also is just one of the best midfielders in the world. He can do just a little bit of everything. So I love Joshua Kimmich. I think he's a phenomenal player. Anytime I get the chance to play him, especially at a reduced price, I am all about it. If you want to play Toni Kroos, I have no issues with that. I honestly think the decision on Toni Kroos may end up deciding the slate in so many ways. I think people are, especially like people that play a lot of DFS soccer, are just so used to playing Toni Kroos, and especially if you see him under 7,000, he just it's like a lock and load 8 to 10 points. I don't know if that's the case here. In a tough matchup versus France, with losing some set responsibility to Joshua Kimmich, I think I am leaning towards no Kroos in cash. The front line, Gnabry, Muller, and Havertz, all GPP only to me. None of them are going to be huge crossers. I think in a game versus France, it's hard to say any of them are going to be shooting the ball a ton. So I would be all more GPP. Gosens would be the other cash play for me. So my cash plays are Gosens, Kroos, Kimmich. Gosens, the Atalanta wingback, always likes to attack. He is a goal threat and was phenomenal in the friendly. There are rumors this, like, I almost hope this isn't true, but that Jurgi Low did this 3-4-3 more than anything to accommodate Gosens, which just sounds crazy. But it's just weird. It's just weird with how loaded Germany's midfield and attack are that they use up a spot to this formation on Matthias Ginter. That just makes like Ginter at this point is like locked to score goal because I just called him out. But, just with the name recognition on this team, it is just very interesting. But we'll see. It's going to be a great game. Okay, that does it for the player breakdowns. Let's just really quickly go to our core. So I'm giving you guys one extra today because I just think that the ownership is going to be so high on these four guys. So I got Ronaldo, Griezmann, Fernandes, Kimmich. For your value plays, don't be scared to get a couple of those Hungary guys. I'm sure, people are going to like flock to Conte, people like that. But, however it's going to make it work. This doesn't leave you a lot of salary, right? So if you want to take out I don't know. I'm playing those four. If you see me in cash, as long as there's no lineup, there'll be no doubt that those guys are there. So if you want to pick me up at head-to-heads too, cool. That'll do it. All right. That's going to be the video. Sorry. Head's been kind of like boggled, but I think that as we got into the picks, I did do a decent enough job of introducing you to the players and getting you an idea how the teams will play and who you should be targeting. All right. That'll do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck tomorrow. With that, I'll say, see you.